The Snapchat that changed everything. Yellow heart cell phone. Ion loved using Snapchat. Every day after school, he would open the app, send streaks, share funny filters, and chat with his friends. For him, it was just a fun way to stay connected. One evening, while scrolling through his stories, he noticed something unusual. His classmate Zane had posted a black screen with just a few words. "Some days are just really hard." Most people skipped past it. Some even replied with jokes, not taking it seriously. But Ion paused. Something didn't feel right. Instead of ignoring it, Ion sent a simple message. "Hey, are you okay?" At first, there was no reply. Ion thought maybe he was overthinking. But after a few minutes, Zane responded. "Not really, but it's okay." Ion didn't stop there. He kept the conversation going. He didn't try to fix everything or give big advice. He just listened. He told Zane he wasn't alone and that someone cared. That night, they talked longer than they ever had before. The next day at school, Zane looked different, still quiet, but lighter somehow. During lunch, he came and sat beside Ion. "Thanks for yesterday," Zane said softly. Ion smiled. "Anytime." From that day on, Ion realized something important. Snapchat wasn't just for streaks or filters, it could also be a way to show kindness. A small message. A few caring words. That's all it took. And sometimes, that's everything. Dizzy. The ripple effect of one message wave speech balloon. After that night, things slowly began to change, not just for Zane, but for Ion too. Ion started noticing things he had never paid attention to before. The quiet students in class, the ones who rarely spoke in group chats, and the posts that seemed normal but carried hidden feelings. Snapchat was no longer just entertainment for him, it became a way to understand people better. Zane, on the other hand, began to open up more. At first, it was just small replies, short messages, a simple, thanks, or a thumbs up emoji. But over time, he started sharing more about what he had been going through. School pressure, feeling left out, and moments when he thought no one really cared. One evening, Zane sent Ion a message. "I almost didn't post that story that day." Ion replied, "I'm really glad you did." Zane paused before typing again. "I didn't think anyone would notice, but you did." That message stayed in Ion's mind for a long time. Soon, their friendship grew stronger. They started sitting together more often, studying after school, and even laughing about things that once felt heavy. Ion realized that sometimes, people don't need perfect words, they just need someone who's willing to stay. But the story didn't end there. One day, Ion saw another story, this time from a different classmate. It wasn't obvious, just a sad quote with a broken heart emoji. Most people reacted with a quick emoji and moved on. Ion didn't. He sent the same simple message. "Hey, I saw your story, are you okay?" And just like before, there was a pause, then a reply. Without realizing it, Ion had started something bigger than himself. His small act of kindness began spreading, quietly, gently, like ripples in water. Zane noticed it too. One afternoon, he smiled and said, "You know, you didn't just help me. You're helping others now." Ion shrugged, but deep inside, he felt something warm. He had learned something powerful. Kindness doesn't need to be loud or public. Sometimes, it's just one message, sent at the right time. And that one message can change more lives than you ever expect. A chain of kindness that never ends. Link sparkles. Weeks turned into months, and what started as one simple message grew into something Ion never imagined. It wasn't obvious at first. There was no big announcement, no viral moment. But slowly, quietly, something changed in their school. People began to notice. More students started replying to stories with real messages instead of just emojis. Instead of ignoring sad posts, they checked in. Instead of making jokes, they showed care. And it all traced back to a small habit Ion had started. One afternoon, Zane came running up to Ion after class, excitement in his eyes. "You won't believe this," Zane said. "What happened?" Ion asked. "I messaged someone today, just like you did for me." Ion smiled. "Really?" Zane nodded. "Yeah, he posted something sad, and I almost ignored it. But then I remembered you, so I asked if he was okay." And Ion leaned in. Zane's face softened. He said no one had ever asked him that before. For a moment, neither of them spoke. That's when Ion truly understood, kindness doesn't stop with one person. It keeps moving, from one heart to another. A few days later, something unexpected happened. Their teacher gave the class a task. Write about someone who made a difference in your life. Ion didn't think much of it. He wrote about small things, family, friends, everyday moments. But when the papers were returned, something surprised him. At the bottom of his page, the teacher had written, "You may not realize it, but your actions are inspiring others." Later that day, Zane quietly showed Ion his paper. It was about him. Ion read the words slowly, his eyes stopping at one line. He didn't do anything big. He just cared, and that changed everything. Ion felt something he couldn't quite explain, a mix of pride, humility, and warmth. That evening, as he opened Snapchat again, it looked the same as always, streaks, filters, snaps. But to him, it was different now. Because behind every screen, there was a real person. A real story. Real feelings. And sometimes, all it takes is one kind message to remind someone they matter. Ion typed a message to a friend who had been quiet lately. "Hey, just checking in, hope you're okay." He hit send, smiled softly, and put his phone down. Because now he knew. Kindness isn't just something you do once. It's something you pass on. And as long as people keep passing it forward, that chain will never end. Yellow Heart